Chapter 2, Part 2 picks up with our conversation of types of retailers, but now we're going to focus on general merchandise retailers. So the first general merchandise retailer we're going to classify this semester are department stores. And department stores are retailers that carry a broad variety and deep assortment. Department stores offer customer service, and department stores organize their stores into distinct departments for displaying merchandise. So you can probably identify some department stores that you've been into. There are 3 tiers of department stores, tier 1, 2, and 3. And so we are going to identify what differs these 3 tiers. Tier 3 would be like a Kohl's or a JCPenney in that they're value oriented. So the first thing to know when we are classifying department stores into tiers is that they're classified based on the quality of the product that they sell and also based on customer service. So being a tier 3, Kohl's is value oriented in that their customer service levels are the lowest and the quality of product is also the lowest. A tier 2 department store would be like a Macy's or a Belk or a Dillard's. Tier 2 department stores have moderately priced merchandise, and the quality is fairly average. They do have a mid-range of customer service in that they will have sales associates readily available. The stores will be relatively clean. The lighting will be nice, etc. Tier 1 department store would be like a Nordstrom, a Neiman Marcus, a Saks Fifth Avenue. These are your upscale department stores that sell primarily designer merchandise. And so as you can imagine, the quality of product is highest at a tier 1 department store, and so is the customer service. So at a tier 1 department store, you might have a sales associate who walks the bag around the counter to you or who offers to carry your bags to the car. Tier 1 department stores offer things like personal shoppers. So it's a much higher level of customer service. So some points of differentiation that classify all 3 of these tiers of department stores are that they do offer exclusive designer merchandise. So there are designers that will make merchandise specifically for these department stores. The department stores offer a lot of private label goods. So a large percentage of the stores are going to be private label, and so they're unique to that department store. Department stores have a multi-channel and a social presence, and what that means is they don't just sell in store, right? So they're going to sell on the internet, they're going to have catalogs, they're going to be on Facebook and Instagram and all of the other social sites as well. Department stores are generally located in or near a shopping mall. They are starting to face competition from discount stores such as Target. And so some of the things that they're doing in order to compete better with discount stores such as Target is offering more exclusive merchandise. So an example of this would be Vera Wang at Kohl's. So they have this exclusive designer merchandise that you can only get at that specific location. So there's different things that they're doing to try to stay competitive as other types of general merchandise retailers become more competitive. So moving on to full-line discount stores, these general merchandise retailers offer a broad variety of merchandise, but they do have limited services, and their prices are fairly low. So there are 2 key full-line discount stores that you are probably familiar with. Target and Walmart are the 2 biggest full-line discount stores in the United States. These full-line discount stores offer both private label brands, but they also have national brands. So while you'll see things that are Target exclusive or Walmart exclusive, you'll also see things that you can get multiple places, like General Mills cereal, or different brands of shoes or apparel. Full-line discount stores do try to differentiate themselves from each other, and so we can see that Walmart focuses on low price, where Target is focusing on cheap chic clothing and accessories in their store. These stores compete very heavily with the next general merchandise retail type we're going to talk about, category specialists. So full-line discount stores have strong competition from category specialists. Now, category specialists are big box stores that offer a narrow variety, but a very deep assortment of merchandise. There is a long list of category specialist retailers in your book. You can reference Exhibit 2.6 for a list of some of the large category specialists. But these are stores such as Best Buy or Barnes & Noble. And these retailers use a self-service approach, but they do offer some personal service in certain areas. So if you walk into a Best Buy or a Barnes & Noble, again, they have a narrow variety but deep assortment. So Barnes & Noble, they have a few different categories: books, DVDs, some have board games, or CDs or music collections, but there's generally only 3 or 4 large categories. Now, within that, there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of different types of books, so that assortment is very deep. And as you, the consumer, walk into a Barnes & Noble booksellers, you will do mostly self-service. So you get to spend the time browsing, looking at products, comparing products, and generally don't receive customer service unless you ask for it. Category specialists do have that self-service approach, which makes them different from other general merchandise retailers, and they also have major buying power. And what that means is that they can buy their products from manufacturers at a low price because they do order in such large quantity. And generally, the merchandise is guaranteed to category specialists. So an example of that would be Best Buy. If they are going to be ordering computers from Dell, they will get to order, they're going to be ordering thousands of the same computer, whereas small retailers might only be ordering 10 or 12 of a computer at a given time. And so that means that Dell, as a supplier, is going to honor the category specialist order first and make sure they get their merchandise. One thing to note about category specialists is that they often have a hard time differentiating themselves in the marketplace amongst each other. So an example, Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's are both category specialists. Now, I know that they're now owned by the same company, but before they were, what's the difference? What makes them so special? What's their competitive advantage, right? They're very similar. Same thing with Staples and OfficeMax. Both are category specialists that focus in office supplies, but what makes them special and unique and different? Right? So it's a challenge for category specialists to make themselves strong in the market. The next type of general merchandise retailer that we're going to talk about are specialty stores. Specialty stores are retailers that concentrate on a limited number of complementary merchandise categories, but they have a high level of service. It's very easy to confuse a specialty store with a category specialist. Both have a limited variety and a large assortment. The big difference here is the level of service. So while category specialists have a self-service approach, specialty stores have a high level of service from the sales associates. Specialty stores, and there's a list in your book you can reference, but they are stores that you often see in shopping malls. So like a Brooks Brothers or a Victoria's Secret, a Zara, an H&M, Pottery Barn, Godiva, Coach, right? So these are specialty stores. They have a limited number of complementary categories, and they offer that high service. These specialty stores generally target very specific segments. So if you think about Brooks Brothers, they target men who generally have a higher income, who are looking for business wear. Godiva is targeting a higher income group of people who like chocolate. H&M is targeting the millennial looking for fast fashion at a low price. So they do have that target. Thrift stores, consignment shops, and drugstores also fall into this specialty store category. They could actually almost be considered their own individual types of retailers, but your book classifies them into here. So just to make sure we're all on the same page, thrift stores and consignment shops are very different. A thrift store is when merchandise is donated and the proceeds go to a specific charity. Consignment shops accept used merchandise, and they often pay the seller for the merchandise they're bringing in. At a thrift store, clothes or merchandise are donated to that thrift shop. Some points of differentiation, as we've already talked about, is that specialty stores do target very specific segments of people, and their sales associates generally have a higher level of product knowledge. The next general merchandise retailer that we are going to talk about are extreme value retailers. And these are very small discount stores that offer a broad variety but shallow assortment of goods. So extreme value are related to the full-line discount store we talked about, but they have a small assortment of products. Stores like the Dollar General, the Family Dollar, the Dollar Tree, those are all examples of extreme value retailers. Some points of differentiation. These retailers are focused on low-income consumers, and they do have very small, affordable packages of products. And large brands will often create unique product and packaging sizes for these extreme value retailers. An example, Kraft Mac and Cheese. If you go to Kroger, you can buy one individual box, or you can buy a pack of 5 boxes. If you go into the Dollar General, you might be able to find a box of or a package of 3, right? So it makes it easier to buy potentially in bulk, right? But at a very low price. In recent years, these extreme value retailers have broadened their appeal to higher income consumers who are looking for unique merchandise at an exciting bargain. So think about walking into the Dollar Tree here in Milledgeville. They often have really unique decorations. They have greeting cards. They have very interesting seasonal products. And so it's not just for low-income customers anymore. They're trying to be more inviting to people who are just looking for a bargain and a cool product. The final category of general merchandise retailers we're going to talk about are off-price retailers. Off-price retailers offer an inconsistent assortment of brand name merchandise at a significant discount off of MSRP. MSRP is the manufacturer's suggested retail price. So manufacturers will suggest to retailers what the price of a product should be, and off-price retailers will sell those products for much less. Now, these products used to be closeouts, which are products that are on clearance and are not selling, or irregulars, which are products that have errors or mistakes in them. So some great examples of off-price retailers are TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, stores like Big Lots would be an example of an off-price retailer. And some other examples would be flash sales. So internet sites like Zulily or Rue La La that offer flash sales for products, those are off-price retailers. And then finally, outlet stores and factory outlets are included in this as well. And outlet stores and factory outlets are just off-price retailers that are owned by clothing manufacturers. So, for example, Saks Fifth Avenue has Off Fifth, which is their factory outlet. Nordstrom has the Nordstrom Rack, which is their own outlet. Nike has a Nike outlet, right? So, as a retailer, you can either send your clothes to an off-price retailer like TJ Maxx, or you can have your own outlet store where you sell your own products. So to wrap up, here's something for you to think about. Why do we have all of these types of general merchandise retailers? Consider a product category that you and your parents both purchase, maybe clothing, music, electronics, even shampoo. So think about the type of store you typically purchase your merchandise, and then think about the types of retailers where your parents tend to shop. So why do you think there is or isn't a difference? And why do you think we need all of these different types of general merchandise retailers?